Hello and welcome to the Black Cat Intuitive channel and my reading on Justin Trudeau. So the first thing I got with Trudeau was a little boy playing in a field. It is a part of him that got cut off from his soul and is free and unencumbered from himself. So his little boy self is cut off and now exists in the fourth dimension or the higher fourth dimension. The guides say it will be important later or for some information that I will get later. The guides then said, there are three things that you should know about Trudeau. He stopped being himself many years ago. His current self is only a mirror image of his former self. And he will stop at nothing to get somewhere, but he doesn't know what that place will be. Confusion doesn't even begin to describe what is going on in his head. I was drawn to an image of Trudeau's head. I saw an image of an airplane flying around and was told, the sound that sounds like an airplane that flies around his head, it was what keeps him in a constant state of confusion. I was told this was intentional to keep him off balance. He does not know what he is, but a part of him absolutely thinks he is sure of himself and absolutely knows himself and what he is. So a part of him is convinced he is absolutely sure of himself. A very severe split has taken place within him. So a part of him is absolutely convinced that what he is doing and every action that he is taking is good. That part of him is very convinced that he is good. Then I asked about cloning and the possibility that he has been cloned or was a clone or had, body doubles in the closet, so to speak. And I got, yes, that is pretty obvious that cloning goes on, but the question is, how far is the copy from the original? If someone clones you and the clone is similar to the original, does it matter if the essence and personality is very similar? They said it did not matter what clone he was because the essence of him was similar, which often occurs with cloning. I then wanted to know, get a glimpse into the psyche that was occurring with him in this now, the current now. And I asked to be shown an image at safe distance so that I would have an understanding, but would be protected and not be too much in his energy field. And then I saw, yes, as you can see, there is a lot of confusion, but we want to show you something else. I then saw an image of a silver key and heard there are many parts of Trudeau, and not all of them are bad. I saw a field with many Trudeaus. I heard there are ones that have done things that most people would consider evil and duplicitous, but there are ones that are good or regard themselves as good and want to be good. The guides reminded me of a poem, The Good Wolf and the Bad Wolf. You can look it up online. It's like a well-known poem about how we have the choice to feel the particular wolf, the good wolf or the bad wolf, and how we feed the wolf that is good or bad. And then I heard, currently he is not feeding any wolf, but is completely overcome by a larger wolf that is not him. So I wanted to know about the whole, blackface thing. What was that? And I got that it was a joke, like it was an internal joke of sorts. And I heard it was not in any way, shape, or form unintentional that it got out to the public. And then I heard they do these things to test the public's reaction to things. I also heard the words, they get a kick out of trolling people like this. And I heard it is 50% psychological experiment, as in how would people react to this sort of thing? What kind of reactions will the public have to this? And they like to do these experiments to know the way the public will react to these things. And then I heard it was 50% a troll or joke on the public. And then I heard some of it was true, some of it was photoshopped. And I wanted to know about his past lives. Did he have any past lives? And I heard, like everybody, he's or almost everybody. He's had lots of them. And I asked for a brief synopsis of the most recent and or important ones. I heard they are all important because all the lives form the totality of a person. But then I got there was a past life in like the 30s or 40s, and like he had a life there, not very long, but it was like a very basic life. He was not famous. It was like maybe he lived to like 40s or something, 40s, and I got that his face was dirty, and the people who know about all people's past lives, they kind of think it's funny, given they just find it funny because they're able to see all the the lives of everybody because they have that abilities. And then I got another life. I had 800 years ago. He was a political person in like the sort of the English area who was not in charge but a sidekick who enjoyed his power and importance. And he thought a lot of the time, what would happen if I was fully in charge? And it was not a jealous thought. Like he didn't really exactly want to be in charge, but he thought it a lot. And it was a portent because his soul knew at some level he would be in the future. So he kept on having this thought, like, oh, what if I was in charge? What if I was in charge? And he couldn't quite figure out, why am I having these thoughts? And it wasn't exactly a wanting thought, but it was like a premonitory thought. So it's like his thought was kept on telling his destiny in his mind without him even knowing it. And then I got if I could be shown a little bit about Castro because of the rumor, to which the conclusion seems pretty obvious to some, given his height and such. And I asked if it could give me information that is appropriate for me to know about his parents, Trudeau, and the whole swinging situation, if you will. And they said it went down pretty close to what people thought. So yeah, it's pretty much what people think. But they said there's more of a ritual and intentional aspect to it though. And it was a little more than weird people swinging. So yes, they enjoy that sort of thing. But I saw an image of a chessboard, and though I heard the words, it was part of a grand design. Everywhere is part of a grand design. And I got a weird image. I saw that there were interdimensional forces behind everything that happened, and everyone's face being blank and just sort of almost unconscious while a part of it happened. And then I heard you are right and that they are control freaks and everything is designed with control in mind. But they also said that the elites, the so-called elites, are extremely smart but also extremely stupid at the same time. And I saw an image of someone holding a magnifying glass and seeing one detail but not looking at every other detail at the same time. They are super smart in terms of human psychology, but they get so trapped in one minute detail that they sometimes do not see the forest for the trees, and that will be their downfall, amongst other failings that will spell their downfall. And at the end, I saw an image of a boy which was Justin Trudeau cut off from his core adult self, and I saw that there was a thin connection to that child self. The child self that was cut off, that was up in the higher fourth density, is aware of Justin, and Justin is vaguely aware of the child that is cut off, although he not necessarily knows this at a conscious level. And it's a thin thread that connects them, a very thin thread, but a thread nonetheless. Thank you for listening to this reading. Like if you enjoy this reading, and subscribe if you think the Black Cat Intuitive channel might be of service to you on your intuitive and spiritual journeys.